Is it inflation or just your imagination? Is the economic data even making sense or even useful at this point? Ultimately, what the Fed chairman sees in the economic tea leaves is not within your control. However, protection of your retirement savings is in your control. This should be motivated by knowledge and confidence, not fear. If you think you may be falling behind in your financial goals, see the video description to access the free Inflation Retirement Calculator to make sure that you are on track. To discuss the present economic environment and how investments in scarce and time-tested assets like gold and silver can help you secure your financial future, we will hear from economist, White House advisor, and author Jim Rickards, economist and investor Keith Weiner, and author and economist at George Mason University, Lawrence H. White.
I think a gold standard with free banking, I think there's evidence, would be better than the status quo. It would give us more stability of purchasing power. It would give us a sounder banking system. We wouldn't need too big to fail. We wouldn't need the moral hazard that comes with that. And it would give us sounder finance if we didn't have a central bank to issue things like the Greenspan put, which sort of opened the door to moral hazard. How can we get there? Not by hyperinflation, which is how some countries have lost their fiat monies. Nobody hopes for that.
Reach in your wallet or your purse and pull out a dollar bill and hold it up with two hands and look at it. Does it have yield? No. But when you have money, at least a sound form of money, you don't have any risk. And so the idea that gold has no yield, well, that's literally true, but it's not supposed to have a yield because it's money. Now, you say, well, I can get yield on my dollars by putting them in the bank. That's true. And people think of it as money, but that's not money anymore. When you put your dollar in a bank, it's not money. It's a bank deposit, which is an unsecured liability of banks that as recently as 2008 and even later were completely insolvent. Now, yes, they were bailed out by the federal government, and there's FDIC insurance, and I understand that, but even if you're under the insured limit, how do you know the insurance deposit insurance corporation itself is solvent? That's not always true. How do you know that bank withdrawals won't be suspended or reduced as they were in Greece and Cyprus? And then people say, well, that would never happen in the United States. And I point out it did happen in the United States. In 1933, there was an 8-day bank holiday. Banks were, by executive order of the President of the United States, banks were shut. The government did not say when they would reopen. It turned out they reopened 8 days later, but for 8 days you couldn't go down to the bank and get your money.
Just a quick interruption to this week's episode to give a quick mention to one of our sponsors, Birch Gold Group. With over 3 decades in the industry, Birch Gold Group is one of the most trusted companies for gold investing. Whether you are starting a brand new gold IRA or rolling over an existing account, the company will make this process seamless and stress-free. With endorsements from respected and renowned voices across America and one of the lowest investment minimums in the gold IRA industry, Birch Gold Group makes it easy to get started investing in precious metals. To find out more about Birch Gold Group and how this trusted gold investment company can help safeguard your coveted retirement savings, see the link in the video description to visit Birch Gold's official site to receive a free gold investing guide. Also, check out our video review of Birch Gold Group by clicking the link in the top right. Now, back to the episode.
The value density of gold is definitely a factor. Karl Menger, the Austrian school, defines it as the most marketable commodity. We're physical beings that live in the physical world. There's a time when you need to be able to take your marbles home and not play in the system at all. But that means taking home a physical good. You're a physical creature. You live in a physical home. You need to take something home and say, I'm done. I've gotten final delivery, final payment. This is it. I'm holding it. And when you look at all the various commodities, people talk about crude as a currency, for example, crude oil. The amount of crude oil to be the equivalent value of a new car would be like a swimming pool. So, the idea of where would you like your convoy of tanker trucks to deliver your crude, sir, it just becomes highly impractical. I'm a big fan of kind of reducing things to something that's perceptually obvious. With the same amount of gold as that value of crude oil, would be about the size of a large format iPhone. You could stick it in your pocket and walk down the street. And so the value density of gold, is definitely a factor.
It's a little bit like fire insurance on your house. You don't want your house to burn down, but heaven forbid if it does, you're sure glad you had the insurance. And when you write that premium check to the insurance company every month, you don't think you're throwing your money away, you think you're doing a smart thing. So get some gold, it's volatile, don't get too upset with the day-to-day price action. But institutional allocations are about 1.5%. So I'm recommending 10, so there's a long way to go there. People need to get a lot more gold. I would see it sort of chugging along with a lot of volatility, and then I think we're getting close to the stage where it's just going to gap up. Meaning, one day it'll go up $100 an ounce and that'll make a lot of headlines, and the next day it'll go up another $100 an ounce and that'll make headlines, and all the talking heads on TV will go, oh, it's a bubble, don't be a fool, etc. But then, the next day, boom, it keeps going. Then what happens is then people wake up and say, oh, gee, I better get some gold. What they'll find is they can't get it. They'll call the dealer, sorry, sold out. They'll go to a coin shop, sorry, we're back ordered. They'll call the mint, we're not taking new orders.
The big guys will get it, the sovereign wealth funds, the central banks, the hedge funds.
Gold holds a proven, time-tested track record as an economic constant that spans millennia. Why is it important to have an economic constant? What is the main question every person planning their retirement or building a business needs to ask themselves? Are we growing wealth or losing wealth? And how do we measure this? Gold is that tool. With a 5,000-year record that has withstood every economic business cycle, stock market booms and busts, global conflicts, and outlasting every faith-based fiat currency, gold is no one's liability. It builds wealth while preserving it. Owning physical gold and precious metals requires responsible sourcing of grades, purity, condition, the best prices, transparency, and most of all, security and storage. Gold IRAs are a tax-deferred means of owning physical gold and ensuring all these investing principles are met. We have reviewed and vetted the best gold IRA companies that meet all these requirements. See the link in the video description to access the free gold investment guides. An often used criticism for holding gold is the opportunity cost of gaining yields elsewhere, such as bonds or high-quality equities. Monetary Metals is a gold investment company that unlocks the productivity of gold by offering a yield on gold paid in gold. Monetary Metals delivers interest on gold through the company's gold fixed income investments, which aim to provide a fixed return with low risk of loss. This provides investors exposure to gold's unique attributes, plus a real yield that grows your total of gold ounces held. To learn more about Monetary Metals and their innovative investment products, see the link in the video description. If you enjoyed this video content, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next video. If you have $100K of retirement savings to protect and want to take advantage of the best gold prices, see the link in the video description to sign up for the free Gold and Silver Web Conference hosted by Augusta Precious Metals. Thank you for watching.